Good day, Junior Techies, and welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at worksheet questions 1 and 2 for the sections on meiosis. My name is Mr. P. We're going to be working through this together, and hopefully by the end of it we will know how to approach these questions with confidence so that we can do well at the end of the year. So firstly, having a look at a couple of multiple choice questions. Now keep in mind that we will always be receiving multiple choice questions in our paper 1 and paper 2. So knowing how to approach these is very, very important for us. So we'll see that we're only going to be giving the correct letter that we choose as the answer to the question, and we're not going to be rewriting the answers. So it's important to know that we're only writing letters A to D to answer these questions. And if we look at question 1.1 first, which one of the following is most likely the chromosome complement of a person with Down syndrome? Now this is trisomy 21. So what does this actually mean? Trisomy 21 is where we look at having the extra chromosome at the 21st chromosomal pair. Now, if we work this out for ourselves, what we're going to see is the number, or the normal number of chromosomes being 46, and that's going to be made up out of the autosomes and gonosomes, and with trisomy 21, it means I've got a 46 plus 1, which means I've got a total of 47, right? Now, if we look at the options that we are given, they give us the options of the gonosomes and autosomes separate from one another. So if I take away my two gonosomes from 47, what should I end up with? I end up with 45 and, in the case of option C, 2x gonosomes, which is going to be the option that I'm going to select here. In a situation like this, it is so important to work through the mathematics carefully so we don't make a mistake, because that could be quite confusing. Next question that we have a look at is how many chromatids are found in a pair of homologous chromosomes after DNA replication has taken place. So if we're looking at one homologous pair, we show replication, we do a quick sketch, we can see that we have two chromatids joined at a centromere, and in the other homologous chromosome, another two chromatids joined at a centromere. This means that we've got a total of 4 chromatids. If we look at question 1.3, maternal and paternal chromosomes having the same shape and size, which are paired but differ in genetic material, we can look at the words. Now we can identify with some of these. Homologous chromosomes, no, it's not something that we've heard before. Heterozygous, we've heard before, but that forms part of our genetics section. Homologous, yes, I would say that's definitely the answer that we're looking for there. And homozygous chromosomes as well. Well, we're looking at genetics there as well. So homozygous, heterozygous, we're talking about genetics. Homologous, I think, is just put in there to confuse us a little bit. But if we look at homologous, that's definitely the one that we could use to describe, or that describes what we've just read in the question 1.3. So we're going to be choosing option C for this question. Let's move on to question 1.5 here. Here we're talking about, or it's asked of us, the biological significance of meiosis. Now, let's read carefully through these examples. Produce diploid gametes while meiosis produces haploid gametes. So we know it's not option A. Moving on to B. To produce identical daughter cells. Now, while we know that meiosis, the point is not to produce identical daughter cells. We need to produce genetically diverse gametes. So we know option B we can cancel as well. If we look at option C, double chromosome number in gametes. Well, meiosis is actually reduction division, so we know that it's not doubling anything, we're actually reducing. So here we've got option D with producing haploid gametes, and that's going to be the option that we are going to select. So just a little bit of advice when attempting multiple choice questions: read the question carefully first. Secondly, try and eliminate the options you know that it cannot be. And then what you're left with are the options that are possible, and then we're going to be selecting the correct option out of those that remain. Right, let's move on to question 2. So here's biological terminology, also another question that you will most definitely get in your final exam. Here we just see 5 terminology questions, and we're only going to be writing the biological term. Here it says only the term is what we need to be writing down next to the question number, so we cannot be writing sentences. All right, let's look at question 2.1. The structure that holds 2 chromatids together to form a chromosome. Now, we should know that to be the centromere. That's a pretty straightforward question. Question 2.2, point where crossing over takes place between chromatids of homologous chromosomes during prophase 1. Remember, this is the process that adds to genetic variation at the end of the day, and the point at which they cross over is called the chiasma, or we call it the chiasmata. Each one of those, or either of those, could be acceptable in this case. 2.3, the process of cell division whereby the chromosomal number is halved. So there we're talking about reduction division. And it says here at the end of it, we are producing haploid gametes. So this should be meiosis, and definitely not mitosis. 2.4, an organelle in the cytoplasm of a cell which gives rise to spindle fibers during meiosis and mitosis. So cellular division in each of these cases would have this specific organelle in the cytoplasm. And here we're talking about the centrioles. 2.5, a process whereby chromosomes make an extra copy of themselves. And here we talk chromosomes making an extra copy of themselves, and we studied this in our DNA section, or the code of life, and we should now identify this as replication. And if we write down DNA replication, that's not a problem. The mark here is awarded for the word replication. Right, Junior Tuckies, I hope that this has helped. I know these are very simple, straightforward questions to some, but looking at how we approach them is what is important for us here. So the more we practice, the better we get at it. Thanks for joining me in this video. Please make sure you get your hands on the worksheet as well as the worksheet memorandum and the theory booklet to help you prepare for your final exams. Thanks, Junior Tuckies. Hope to see you again.